Hey guys, it's me, Essence Yvonne. I know it's been a very long time, it's been a while, and some may be wondering, where have I been? So I think the last video I did it earlier this year to revamp my YouTube channel. And I was pretty consistent for like 3 weeks. That was before I got married and before I moved. I know in that snippet it's so funny, and one of them I mentioned about being a mom and eventually a mother. Not right now though, no time soon, but well, I spoke very soon, and I am happy to announce I am actually really happy, but I'm happy to announce that I'm indeed a mom-to-be. So that's where I have been. I know people are wondering, like, how did I find out? When did I find out? What was my reaction? What was Josh's reaction, my husband? Our parents' reaction, his parents' reaction? Even like the wedding too. Like, I haven't even vlogged that, or I filmed very little of it as far as the process. So as people may know, who know me personally, Josh and I have been dating for 2 years. Yeah, 2 years before we actually got married. He lives in Georgia. That's where we're at. We're in Georgia. And everybody knows that I am from Florida. So when I moved back home from California in 2022, him and I started talking around April of 2023. And in that same year, December of 2023, is when him and I got engaged. So he proposed to me, Christmas Eve, which made our relationship long distance. So I've been traveling back and forth from Georgia to Florida, as well as traveling for sports film too. After May 31st, which is our wedding day, we got married in Jamaica. It was beautiful. We had a good 85 guests that came out to witness our matrimony. And it was literally amazing. I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, my main thing was in God's will, and he did a great job. After the wedding. So after the wedding, we stayed there a little longer for our honeymoon. So everybody left like the day after. We didn't wait that long. I wanted to personally, that's why I said in the videos prior that I'm not a mom yet, because I kind of plan on not having a child until at least 1 year, the minimum. After I got married, there's always been something in my mind. Josh, he's been wanting a kid since he probably was a kid, as far I'm joking, but not at the same time. He's always been someone who wanted to be a dad, but he wanted to do things the right way, obviously. So get married, make sure it's the right person, things of that nature. So we talked about it, and kind of influenced me a little bit, like, oh, you know, like, we're young, we're not getting younger, we'll be able to still be able to enjoy having kids and still being young and still be able to chase them around and play with them and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, no matter what, when it comes to money, we can build and stuff. You know how when you're with your partner, they can influence you in so many ways, and once you're in the moment, it's just like, you know what, it is, you know, it's whatever is God's will. If it happens, it happens. But I kind of knew if we actually really tried, I would have actually been pregnant, because I come from a family that is very fertile. It's literally a one and done situation with me. So basically my baby was planned. In this agreement that we're having, we're gonna do what it do to have a baby, and if God allows it, they will be here. So we didn't waste no time. It's so funny, because when I told my family and friends, I started sending an invitation, when my mom started sending invitations to family and friends, people were texting me, my friends, my family, like, y'all didn't waste no time, no time. Like, yeah, we didn't, but like the Bible says, you know, be fruitful and multiply. And we really took it literal, and you know, now we have a blessing on the way. So how did we find out? So I've had little things going on in my body where I felt like, okay, it could be a strong cycle coming up, or it could be a pregnancy symptom. I internally was like, you know, inspecting myself and saying like, okay, Essence, you might be pregnant. And then so I started sharing those thoughts with Josh, and Josh was so in denial, but he was like, oh, we don't know yet. We don't know. Like let's not jump into conclusions. And I'm like, boy, oh, now you don't go and start switching up on me now, jokingly. But I think what it was, because even with me too, when I was thinking internally, it's one of those things where it's both of our first time, and I don't care what nobody says. Even when you do plan for your baby, it's like when you know that it's happening or it's in you or the job is done, it's like, wow, like you unlock a whole different level in your life. The day we found out officially, I just started feeling more symptoms at home. And I was like, babe, I think we need to get a test. Like, so we go to Publix and we get the Clear Blue test, which is pretty accurate. Nowadays, the pregnancy test can determine when you're pregnant like a couple days before your cycle because of the different phases in your cycle. Basically, we bought 2 tests just to make sure that if it was a faint line, we take it again, whatever the case may be. We took the test that night and we flipped it over. We flipped it over and we were like, okay, we're gonna put the timer on, and when we have the timer off, we're gonna flip it over and check. My reaction was so organic and shockful. Like, I was shocked because at the end of the day, even though we planned, it's the fact of the matter that, like, that's it, the job is done. Like, I'm carrying, like, you know, the process is started. He like fell on the bed like in shock. I had to sit down and I was like, wow. And then it started hitting me more and I started crying. And he's like, come, sit on my lap, sit on my lap. And I was like, I want my mommy. I don't know why that was my first reaction, which is so crazy. But I don't care what nobody says. At the end of the day, even when you're an adult and something shocking happens in your life, you still call for your mom because your mom is nurturing. So I think my initial response was just, I just needed somebody to nurture me. That I was extremely familiar with, and I wanted to tell my mom and I wanted to tell my dad. So I called them maybe 5 minutes after finding out. And so when I called them, it was my mom, my dad, and my brother. They were all watching the finals, the NBA finals. I was like, are y'all by yourselves? Because I didn't want nobody else to know outside them 3. And they were like, yeah. And then like my mom, one of them was like, you're pregnant. I think it was my mom. And I was just started laughing. And then my mom started hooting and hollering and, oh my gosh. My dad smiling from ear to ear. Congratulations. My brother was like, dang, bro, y'all ain't waste no time. Literally, but they were so happy for me and it made me feel good because I'm like, I don't care what nobody say. Even though we did things the right way, it's still like something that's new. And it's still something that like you don't want to get judged for because like, dang, like y'all really like said screw it and you know. So it was just beautiful, the feeling that I had with them. Even though they're being miles away, I felt very supported by them. And so then Josh calls his brother and he calls his one of his best friends, Drew, and told him that he's expecting. And yeah, it was cool. That was the first day we found out. Now, how we told his parents, we decided to tell his parents by putting little baby booties inside of a big Nike shoebox that he had, and we glued it. We glued the booties on in the shoebox. And so we showed his dad first. Like we basically showed him the box. We were like, look at these new shoes that I got or whatever. And so his dad opened the box and was like, huh? He was trying to figure out, because again, it's a small baby shoes in a big box. He was like, oh, like he was shocked. But his shock was like more like, wow. Like it's like people respond differently. And his Meemaw was also there too, his grandma. His Meemaw was there on the couch. And so he was told his wife, he was like, oh, look at this. Josh showed the box to his mom. His mom was looking at it confused, like, what is this? She said, you're lying. Oh my gosh. And she started just grabbing her, like her temple. And then she started walking up to the kitchen because she was in the living room couch watching TV. And then she was like, you guys lied to me. Because we told her we're trying to push for 1 year to 2 years. And then she went upstairs. She's like, I got to process. And I could laugh about it now because, well, we all could laugh about it now because it took her a minute to realize we were expecting and stuff like that. And his Meemaw like brushed off because she thought it was a prank. I guess, I don't know, she thought that we were just joking around. Like maybe one week after everybody found out, as far as our immediate family, like everybody was really happy about it. Everybody was really happy from the get-go, but the aftershock has ceased. I decided to not tell anybody. Only told my friends and family that I was going to invite to the baby shower. That's pretty much it as far as the announcements and stuff like that. We found out the gender. So us finding out the gender, how we did that. We found out the gender based off of like this blood test. It's called a panorama test. They take your blood where they allow you to see the gender and also what you and the father may be carriers of. Well, mainly the mother, what your possible things are you can carry for the child. I got my test kind of late before my reveal. I did. Like maybe 3 days or 2 days after. So I had the gender reveal in Florida, but I had no results. But my family was very amazing, still just happy to see me and my little tiny bump, especially because I moved out here. They haven't seen me in a while, and we just celebrated the fact that we're having a little one on the way. But how we found out it was a girl is through email through my OB. Josh and I wanted a boy very bad. We really did, especially because we wanted to be the person to oversee like the rest of the siblings. But God has gifted us to have a girl, which is amazing. I'm grateful of having a girl now, especially knowing now that I have a girl. It took me a while, like a day. It didn't take me that long to be able to be like, okay, I'm having a girl. Like, I'm glad. I honestly just want a healthy baby regardless. But again, I wanted the boy, but I wasn't mad. I wasn't like, God, why? Like, I genuinely was just content with whatever. So Josh, it took him a while because he really wanted like a little mini me. He wanted a little warrior, creating like a little man, basically. I know God gives us what we need and not what we want. And I truly believe God blessed us with a girl for a reason. And it's so funny seeing how his want for a boy, now him accepting being a girl dad as of right now is like beautiful. Like, he talks to her all the time. He looks out for her literally as if she's already here. God is good. God is amazing, and God is very faithful no matter what, because at the end of the day, bro, like, being pregnant has its ups and downs, but the fact that I'm able to carry is beautiful. How far I am. I'm currently 19 weeks, so almost halfway baked. So 20 weeks is like the halfway mark of a person's pregnancy because it takes 40 weeks for a baby to be fully turned. So we're almost at the halfway mark. I am feeling good right now. The first trimester I had, it was weird. I had food aversions. It's like times I didn't want to eat at all. And then there's certain things I did want to eat, but I couldn't eat. So there's some foods that we can't eat. And I could get that into in a whole nother video in detail about the things I went through during my trimesters and stuff like that. But I'm just going to gauge it and summarize it for y'all. So I have food aversion. I never threw up my first trimester, which is crazy because you hear a lot of stories about people throwing up and being sick and low on energy your first trimester. I was low on energy, but I couldn't sleep. I craved a lot of salads, and I still do, and rotisserie chicken. When a baby's inside of you, your body literally operates on its timing. Like, it's crazy how that works. Right now, I'm 19 weeks, so 19 weeks, 4.5 months. Second trimester. She's doing good. She's growing a lot. I've been eating so much. Cravings is salad still, rotisserie chicken, spaghetti. My baby is very bougie. She's very particular. She doesn't like certain things. If she don't like it, she will throw it up. That's where we're at with things now. Like right now, apples. She don't like apples. I don't know why, but she doesn't like apples. So I threw up in the car. So terrible, but thank God I have a tissue box. So I started, throwing up in the tissues. And yeah, she just don't like apples. This is the second time she threw up apples. First time was in the middle of the night. Like, I had to learn to, even when I eat, to make sure that I eat. I sit up or walk around or just sit up for at least 30 minutes before I lay down, because the food won't digest properly and it'll go back up. So it's a lot learning. But again, I'm so grateful. I'm going to be having like 3 baby showers, which is cool. I'm excited. I have one coming up in November, one in December, and one in February. So I have 2 at home in Florida, one with my childhood church family, And the second one in December is with all my family, friends, church members, like kind of a mix of everybody. And then I'm having one here in Georgia with my family that lives in Georgia, and as well as his family, friends, and you know, family friends in Georgia. So she's already loved so much. She already got so much gifts. I don't want to say spoiled, she's blessed. She's loved by so many, and I'm so grateful because all the love she's getting is literally a cup running over for me. Guys, this is what 19 weeks look like, and we shall see the rest. Bye again.